In the vast deserts and mighty cities of 16th-century Morocco, a young sultan rises to power after his father is cut down by assassins. Surrounded by enemies, from the Ottomans in the east to the Portuguese in the west, he must hold a fragile kingdom together with steel, faith, and strategy. His name? Abdallah al-Ghalib Billah, the Saadian sword who defied the tide of empires. Welcome to another episode of The Unexplained, the channel where history breathes and forgotten heroes rise again. If you love epic tales of power, betrayal, and survival, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss a story. The death of a father, the rise of a son. His eldest son, Abdallah al-Ghalib, now stepped forward. Barely in his 30s, he was already seasoned in war and known for his calm resolve and sharp mind. But the moment he claimed the throne, he inherited a storm. The Ottomans, stationed in Algiers, were waiting to pounce. Portuguese enclaves dotted Morocco's coastline. Internal rivals and tribal revolts threatened to rip the country apart. Abdallah had no time to grieve. He had to act. Holding back the empire. Within a year, the Ottoman threat materialized. Forces loyal to the Beylerbey of Algiers began probing the eastern borders. The Ottomans sought to turn Morocco into another satellite state, as they had done with Tunisia and Algeria. But Abdallah would not allow it. He mobilized his army and reinforced key eastern cities like Taza and Fez. He forged tribal alliances, rewarding loyalty and punishing betrayal. In a series of decisive campaigns, he pushed back the Ottoman tide, using a mix of guerrilla warfare and open battles. Morocco would remain independent, not a province of the Sublime Porte. The defender of the faith, Abdallah saw himself not just as a king, but as a guardian of Islam. He promoted the Maliki school, supported Sufi brotherhoods, and saw the Saadian Sultan as a legitimate spiritual leader. He restored mosques and built new ones, especially in Marrakesh, his capital. Scholars and jurists found refuge in his court. Through them, he reinforced Moroccan identity, Arab, Berber, Islamic, but fiercely independent from Ottoman domination. His reign witnessed a religious renaissance, one that gave legitimacy to Saadian rule and united the people beyond tribal lines. A builder of cities. Abdallah was not just a warrior or theologian, he was a visionary architect. In Marrakesh, he initiated massive urban development projects. He restored the Kasbah Mosque, built public fountains, schools, caravanserais, and a new necropolis. The beginnings of the Saadian tombs, where future kings, including himself, would rest. These works were not just beautiful. They were a message to his people and enemies. Morocco is not a crumbling ruin, but a living, breathing empire. Rebellion and resistance. But inside the kingdom, not all was calm. Rebellions flared in the Atlas Mountains. Arab tribes resisted taxation. Berber chieftains refused conscription. Former Wattasid loyalists plotted in secret. Abdallah responded with characteristic resolve. He used brutal military suppression, clever diplomacy, and marriage alliances to pacify the land. He gave power to loyal governors and created a standing army made up of black African soldiers, former Portuguese slaves, and tribal warriors. By the end of the 1560s, Morocco was not just stable, it was secure. Diplomacy in the age of empires. Abdallah knew Morocco could not survive on the battlefield alone. He navigated a delicate web of diplomacy. With Portugal, he maintained tense truces, avoiding direct conflict while strengthening internal trade. With Spain, he kept communication lines open, exchanging envoys and occasionally prisoners. With the Ottomans, he was cautious. He sent ambassadors to Istanbul, not as vassals, but as equal Muslim rulers, asserting Moroccan sovereignty without outright provocation. This strategy worked. While other North African states fell under Ottoman rule, Morocco remained free. A fatal mistake. In the final years of his reign, Abdallah al-Ghalib made a fateful decision. Instead of appointing a clear successor, he divided power among his sons, especially Muhammad al-Mutawakkil, while his brothers, including Abd al-Malik, waited in exile. When Abdallah died in 1574, the kingdom plunged into a succession crisis. This crisis would culminate in the epic Battle of the Three Kings 4 years later, one of the most legendary events in Moroccan history. But that, dear viewers, is a story for another day. Legacy of the Ghalib. Though often overshadowed by his brother Ahmad al-Mansur, Abdallah al-Ghalib was the first to truly stabilize the Saadian Empire. He ruled not with fear, but with strategy, strength, and faith. He was the shield of Morocco, the sword of the Saadians, and a sultan who proved that a small kingdom could resist even the greatest of empires. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the reign of Sultan Abdallah al-Ghalib Billah, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to uncover more epic stories from the pages of history. Leave a comment below. Who do you think was the greatest Saadian ruler, and what North African story should we explore next? Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious and stay unsplained.